안녕하세요. 인텔 오버워치 에이펙스 시즌1 아나운서 강민지입니다. 어제 아프리카 프릭스 블루팀이 값진 승리를 따내면서 무사히 8강에 안착했습니다. 이제 오늘 경기로 에이펙스의 16강 모든 경기가 마무리되는데요. 그럼에도 아직 D조는 안개 전국입니다. 오늘 경기에 따라 조 1, 2, 3위 순위가 완전 뒤바뀔 수 있는데요. 정말 마지막까지 긴장을 놓을 수 없는 에이펙스. 오늘 경기가 끝나면 조 지명식이 진행될 예정입니다. 에이펙스 8강 대진이 정해지는 그 시작부터 함께해 주시길 바라면서 인텔 오버워치 에이펙스 시즌1 오늘의 마지막 경기 지금 시작합니다.
Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1 Round Robin. Today's matchup, Mighty Storm, Lunatic High.
Hey guys, welcome to the Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1. I'm Doe, with me is Monte Cristo, and today is the last day of group stage, and things still could get shaken up a bit, couldn't they?
Oh, they could get really crazy, especially in Group D. Now, we do expect in this first match Lunatic High to have a big edge coming in over Mighty Storm, who has yet to win a map in this tournament.
Right.
That said, this group has been very difficult. Group C did contain Convox T6, Lunatic High, and Envy. So Mighty Storm has been understandably struggling under those circumstances.
And it's a tough spot for them to be in. That is a hard group.
It's the hardest group, right?
Yeah.
And if we take a look at some of the performances, particularly of Convox T6, I think if you put them in Group B or Group D, they're a playoff team. But unfortunately, when they get stuck with Lunatic High and Envy, makes things a little bit harder to get out of the group, and especially more difficult for Mighty Storm. But Lunatic High, yep, they should be able to easily get the 3-0 today in terms of their overall match score and proceed as a first-place seed into the quarterfinals. But that's not where it gets messy, is it?
Yeah, it's our second best of 5 that could get kind of crazy. It's going to be Runaway versus Kongdu Panthera, and basically Kongdu Panthera has a chance to kind of play spoiler here, and how Runaway wins or loses this match can determine on how a 3-way 2-1 tie breaks down. It gets kind of complicated there.
Yeah, so to explain it in brief, basically if Kongdu Panthera wins, Reunited exits the group in first seed, Luxury Watch Blue in second.
Yeah.
Now, if Runaway wins 3-0 or 3-1, Runaway leaves the group in first place and Reunited in second. But there's a different scenario. The final scenario is Runaway beats Kongdu Panthera 3-2. And this means we will have a 3-way tie, and we can't break it with points. Points are tied. We can't break it with tiebreakers or with head-to-head because they all beat each other.
Right.
And that means we are going into a series of round-robin best-of-3s that will repeat until one team gets 2-0, one team gets 1-1, and one team gets 0-2.
Yeah.
So theoretically, it could go on for a while.
It could be the never-ending broadcast.
Yes.
We'll see. It's possible. I don't know. It all depends on that match, and there's only that one way where it could
Yes.
get really crazy. Only a runaway 3-2 victory forces that tiebreaker, so we'll see if it happens. You know, the other thing that we have to kind of mention is kind of important today is that the new patch is here.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Sombra's enabled. All of the huge changes are enabled. The alt timers are increased now, so that's going to change the game a lot. Honestly, this is probably the biggest patch to come out since the game's release as far as the impact that it's going to have on competitive. So as we look at the groups, man, we already talked about the groups, I guess, but there's just an unending amount of things to talk about with this patch. And just to clarify, too, we've been told that the bugs you may have been seeing earlier in the day, the crazy fast ult building for some supports and stuff, that's supposedly solved now, so we shouldn't see it in our matches.
Also,
Hopefully.
the nano-boosted Genji reflect bug is
That's
also allegedly been fixed.
Yep,
So,
so if Genji reflects during nano boost, he shouldn't be immune to like Diva ultimates and things like that, so.
yeah, I do hope that's been fixed. That is the bright spot in what we might call a suboptimal patch timing.
Well, I mean, these teams
suboptimal is the word for it.
Suboptimal, yeah. I mean, the teams haven't had really a lot of time or, you know, any time to really practice on this patch. So, you know, we'll see what happens. I mean, the nice thing is for Lunatic High, you know, their skill-wise, it seems like they're so far ahead of Mighty Storm that, you know, they may be able to even bust out the Sombra. Who knows?
Well, I think the really bad scenario is with this patch timing, if we do end up in that three-way tiebreaker, it would be unfortunate to have the groups decided on this new patch, which, again, just dropped today. And we know from talking to the teams that they were not really focusing on because we didn't think it was going to happen necessarily before the quarterfinals, which would have been perhaps a better place to put the patch. But here we are, Doa. Here we are
is
at
2020, I guess.
With all groups on one patch except for the last day.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. You know, that said, I really do like this patch. Aside from when it came out, this patch is awesome. Initial impressions seem like a lot of heroes got some good changes. The alt timer change is really great.
It's my favorite change.
Because it should make the game more mechanically skillful instead of kind of setting up for constant big wombo combos with the ults. It's going to be a lot more kind of subtle team coordination and individual playmaking stuff that kind of factors into who wins. So I'm excited to see how this patch plays out. Should be a good one.
What I like about it is that, like you're saying, the more mechanically skilled players, the players that deal more damage or heal more are going to be the ones to get more ults over the course of a game. But I also like that instead of being able to have a nano boost or a blizzard every team fight or seemingly every other team fight, you have to be a little bit more judicious with how you use those ultimates now. So it's not just, okay, we're going to build up all of our ults and dump them. The longer ult timers, I'm hoping, lead to more meaningful team-based decisions about how to use those very powerful abilities.
Well, we talked about this a little bit yesterday during the Afrika Blue match, where one of the strengths that Freaks Blue has as a team is that they're very conservative with their ultimates. Their efficiency is very good. They usually don't use any more than they need to win a fight. And it's teams like that that I think are going to have an edge coming into this new era of longer cooldown ultimates where each one really does count, and you can't just kind of throw them out willy-nilly like you used to. You can't get 2 blizzards every fight.
Yeah. I wish it was even more, Doa. I wish it was even more. I wish it was 35%. And then, you know, thinking about 50%. I want more.
That's crazy.
More.
You want a game with no ults. See, I feel like personally, I mean, outside of the competitive thing, personally for me, if I get to do my ult like twice per game, I'm happy. Twice per round, that is.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that's a good sort of spot to be in. But who knows? Obviously, if I'm building my ult twice a round, a pro can probably build it 3 or 4 times.
Exactly.
So, there you go. It does change. Experiences may vary, but I think as far as variation goes, there's not going to be much in terms of the results of this first best of 5. Lunatic High coming into this one looking so strong, and of course having those 3 members of the Overwatch World Cup team here on the roster, Miro, Eska, and Jaehong.
Yeah.
And they are good.
And we will see if anybody decides to use Sombra today, as it will be an option on the table. And I think we're going to see somebody try it at least once for a short period of time. One of the things that I like about Overwatch is when you can experiment with one of these new heroes with very little punishment. You can play it for a couple minutes and, of course, just swap off of it if it doesn't end up working. And I think you have to believe that one of these teams has been practicing it just a little bit and see if they can surprise their opponents or catch them off guard for sure.
Well, Sombra is really fun, man. I played a lot of games with her today after the patch hit live, and the mobility is just really, really cool. She's got, you know, obviously a lot of vertical mobility with the translocator, a lot of good escapes, fun to sneak up on people. And that gun actually does a pretty decent amount of damage if you can get up close to somebody. You can really blow somebody up. It's fun. There's Miro. Of course, Winston extraordinaire. The crowd is packed today, actually, to see these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lunatic High, they had to face a tough opponent in T6 in their last match after bringing back multiple members from BlizzCon. Of course, T6 had to bring back Sunba as well, so not the tightest of practice with teams, but that was a very exciting best of 5. It was 3-1 to Lunatic High, but 2 of those maps were draws that went to single point sudden deaths on Nepal, and both of those single points were won by Lunatic High.
You know, and that's why we say that in another world, in another group, Conbox T6 could be a playoff team. They are certainly good enough to be there, but unfortunately for them, yeah, they're in a group with Lunatic High and Envious, so that's tough. Let's take a look at today's maps. We will see what we start out on. I don't believe Ilios is available. No, Nepal is going to be where we're starting things off, and then if you're new with the format, after this one, the loser gets to pick the next map, and we kind of go on from there.
Yeah, Mighty Storm, they're going to have to bounce back in a big way. This team hasn't shown the greatest amount of strategic versatility. They actually play Reaper on either Fellhole or Jack about 88% of the time, nearly 90% of the time. So you can really count on a Reaper coming out of these guys. And
yeah,
other than that, it's been a lot of Reaper, Tracer, double hit scan play. Short range is the name of the game. And they like to eliminate single target quickly. SIP has played a surprising amount of Zenyatta.
Well, I think we might see even more now with the little nano boost nerf, but it's a new world, man. It's a new patch. Mighty Storm versus Lunatic High. They're going to test it out for us, guys. Let's get in the game and see who takes it.
I get it.
All right, welcome to Nepal. I went all Porky Pig at the end of that intro there. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. Mighty Storm versus Lunatic High. And no doubt Lunatic High coming into this one with the edge. Taejun already on the 76. I mean, yeah, they could always change it, but Soldier 76 got some pretty nice buffs in the patch. The damage going up on his regular attack from 17 up to 20 per bullet.
Yep.
And that means it's up to 15 on armored targets, which is a pretty big increase. And if you can handle the spread, which also did get increased, you can do quite well. And yeah, we'll be Soldier 76s on both sides.
Wow, okay. And
nice.
also new Pharah coming out, of course, with the no more knockback. That is problematic, actually, for Pharah, because it does mean you can't bounce a long-range hit scan like Soldier or McCree around.
I mean, that's true, but it's also easier to line up your next rocket as well. You don't have to kind of worry about where they're going to randomly bounce to. So it's kind of a trade-off. I kind of like it personally. The jump jet's increased mobility is really nice too. And of course, we've got Mercy as well, who now starts to self-heal after 1 second. So a little bit easier to stay healthy as we see Lunatic High take the point first here. Eska running out with that Mei. Got the Mei wall, and he's going to just take a chill in the ice block with Fellow. Grabbing some kills on the outside. Doesn't look like it. Ooh, maybe it will be enough. Jack with the right click there.
Yeah, Fellow actually got quite a bit, but he's going to be taken down by Dean, who's now on the, or Toby rather, who's on the run.
That was really tricky, man. Toby tried to go above him on the wall. I like that little move, but it wasn't enough. Not enough health remaining. And I really wonder if we're going to see a lot of Diva here, because she got some really nice buffs too. Maybe not on this point, but in the future.
Eska actually swapping off of the Mei immediately upon seeing the Pharah. So they're going for the double hit scan, trying to pick that Pharah out of the sky.
Yeah, you're going to need to.
And Blizzard not going to be doing a lot against the long range and the hovering of the Pharah, so there we go.
All right, well, there's the Graviton Surge used by Fellow. He's going to come in. There's a barrage, and he just annihilates Lunatic High, looking for another kill, and that is a clean team wipe for Mighty Storm. Wow, coming out strong here in Point A on Nepal. Let's watch that again. That's brutal.
I mean, the combination right there, just slamming absolutely everything into the tiny room. Read the high ground approach there from Lunatic High, but it's a big commitment, and Lunatic High got to come in with a nice ult advantage. They've got the nano boost now. They can use it on the Taejun, and there it is.
That's what they're going to do, yep. Attack visor comes in. Taejun looking for targets, though, and you do so much damage now with this attack visor. Man, and that's exactly what we expected to see. 3 kills for Jack, or for Taejun, rather, with the Soldier 76 as we switch from 76 to 76. Thanks, Observer.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Well, that was a huge play. Even through the Mercy res, they managed to pick off the necessary kills. Eska onto the Tracer now, a hero that he's not really known for playing. So interesting to see the swap up right there. But one of the things about Nano Boost is now that it doesn't give the speed buff, Soldier is actually one of the best heroes to give it to because he can sprint himself into position and not so reliant. That big plays.
Oh, Graviton Surge used by Lunatic High this time, and that will be a big play. They get a lot of kills there. Let's go with the kill onto Chloe to finish things off. Chloe or Chloe?
Chloe.
Chloe? Yeah, why not? You know, why not?
It's just a regular woman's name.
Yep.
So,
we see that from pro gamers. There's a pro gamer named Alicia in StarCraft 2.
There's one named Liz.
That's
we were
right.
casting yesterday.
That's right, you never know. Sometimes you just pick a girl's name. So, Mighty Storm looking to come back and try to retake the point. Bello looking for kills onto Jaehong there. He gets a Zarya shield. Sound Barrier used by Mighty Storm, perhaps a bit preemptively. Room though gets a kill on Jaehong. Oh, and there goes Eska. Bello doing some decent work before he's finally taken out. But here comes Chloe on the Winston. Pop that Primal Rage, and he's going to outgo after the Zarya. See what he gets. Jaehong gets a kill on Dean. Or Room rather, gets a kill on the Dean.
Two monkeys Primal Raging in the same room, and that's going to be a Chloe victory in the end as he clears out Miro eventually. Mighty Storm flips the point backwards, and Lunatic High having to come back. Rez is ready for Mighty Storm, so they should be feeling pretty good about their current status. Not a lot of ultimates going to be available here. Jaehong trying to get Taejun back up there with another tack visor with the nano boost, but they're going to have to wait. And if Mercy can get a res, if she's not picked off first, could be a nice hold here from Mighty Storm.
Yeah. We'll see. Yoshi coming in now on that Zarya, trying to force Eska out on the Tracer. Goes in, meanwhile, Jaehong in the back lines. He's kind of on his own here. That's a bit awkward. Mighty Storm content, though, to just sit on the point. Meanwhile, Jack gets one. Fellow goes down after popping the barrage. Doesn't find any kills with it, and that will be point A going over to Mighty Storm. So a little bit of a surprise here in our first match. Wow.
Absolutely. They tried to get that Mercy down right at the very beginning. Late hit on the tack visor, but they handled Taejun on that Soldier. And Chloe did a really good job on the Winston that game, zoning people out and getting them in those tight little corridors in the Primal Rage, winning the Winston duels with Miro. And it's going to be a point lost there for Lunatic High. A bit surprisingly, not what we expected, but looked like a pretty good map play there from the side of Mighty Storm.
Yeah, honestly, I think they came out with a really good comp for this new patch, and it worked out well for them. We'll see if Lunatic High can adapt. They didn't have a whole lot of different stuff, just that Soldier 76 kind of thrown in there.
All right, Eska going to be playing the Soldier this time, and he's typically the long-range hit scan player on the McCree. Taejun going back to the Roadhog, his preferred hero so far in Apex.
This is a better point for the Roadhog as well on Nepal, so no surprise to see them swap over with that one. Vita Grenade comes in, Jack just looking for a little bit more damage, but Dean the first one to get the kill onto Chloe. Lunatic High winning those early fights, and they're going to move on to the point. Whoa, got to be careful there. And SIP.
I don't know what SIP was doing there. He was way far forward. And gets picked off before he could fall back to the safety of his spawn. So pretty easy take right there. Miro goes down on the Reinhardt, but it was a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Lunatic High. And they're going to be holding a defensive position across from the point with the Reinhardt, the Roadhog, and the Soldier.
One of the things with that
nice
Soldier,
shot. We got Eska. Yoshi actually long-range right-click.
Right-click there. Takes out Taejun as well. Wow, and pops that Graviton Surge. Looks like they might get a bit more. There goes Jaehong. Miro low on the outside, and Jack just tearing these guys apart. They're going to retake the point.
Yeah, Jack didn't even have to use Tack Visor to clean that up, so he's still going to have an ultimate available right now. And they don't have any kind of Zarya on the side of Lunatic High, or they do, Dean rather, but no ultimate yet. Yoshi built up his Graviton Surge extremely quickly.
So one of the good things that we haven't talked about with 76 in this new patch is that he's really good at busting through Reinhardt shields now. He always kind of was, but now with the damage increase, throwing a right click there, and that shield is not going to last very long.
Absolutely, Eska. There we go. He's going to use that nano boost on attack visor. Not a lot of good targets, though. He's trying to zone out the enemy Soldier. Ooh, doesn't find a whole lot. This is big ultimate used. They only get one kill on the Room for it, and they're going to counter nano boost attack visor.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have the attack visor, so it ran out anyway. Sunberry used by Lunatic High. Somebody got knocked off there. Taejun, I believe, was the victim. Jack coming back. Looks like Lunatic High, though, will be able to reclaim the point.
Going back now, so it's been really a back and forth match so far. Dean finally building up to that Zarya ultimate. They are going to have a good way to clog up this choke point, but not really any follow-up.
I feel like we're really seeing a big difference in the ult cooldowns now. I mean, a lot less ultimates being used in these games. Overall, you look up and usually only 1 or 2 people have them at a time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like it. I like it a lot. Fellow coming in now on that Reaper decided to swap over. He's got the Death Blossom if he wants to use it. Sound Barrier is going to power him up a little bit more. Graviton Surge used by Mighty
Nice
Storm.
hook.
Trying to take the point back, but yeah. Good hook from Taejun. That's going to pull somebody right off the point. Dean, meanwhile, going in with the Zarya. Turning away at that shield.
An extended engagement, and Dean actually turning around and picking up a couple big kills there on the Zarya with the help of Toby.
Yeah, Mighty Storm just looked kind of disjointed there. They didn't really look like they had a plan of attack, and they just sort of sat there and let themselves be picked off one by one.
Yeah, Lunatic High too, building up a nice ult bank to work with once again. Mighty Storm, sure they've got the Death Blossom, but they're going to have to combo that with the crowd control from the Earth Shatter, otherwise that Reaper will be highly vulnerable to getting picked off.
Yeah.
During the ultimate, but this is the last push really. Mighty Storm has to get something done.
Well, Jack goes ahead and uses his ultimate to try to force back Miro there. Eska, though, taken down. He could be in trouble. Fellow gets a kill onto Dean, but Mighty Storm is on the point right now.
Yeah, and they couldn't actually kill Eska, though, because of the nano boost. And Taejun going to rip through with the whole hog, try and finish off the last few players running for his life, but everybody piling in, and that's going to be it. Overtime ends, and Lunatic High will take the win. Wow, that play right there from Eska combined with Taejun. He was so close to dying during the Earth Shatter and the Death Blossom, but managed to get back up, had the damage reduction from the nano boost, and then heal right back up by the Ana to continue dealing damage and handling Felho on that Reaper.
Yeah. Well, it's been an interesting first couple rounds here on Nepal, and we're going to the third one. We're going to go to Shrine, and we'll see who takes this map. It is a best of 3. But Mighty Storm making a pretty good showing of it so far, honestly. But we're at a point right now where everybody's adjusting to the new patch. So results today, probably going to be a bit crazy. Looks like Mighty Storm back to the pharmacy.
Going for that one more time, and with Felho's performance on that Pharah in the first point, they're going to use some of that.
Whoa. He is ripped. And Taejun this time on the Tracer. Bit of a change of pace for him. Mighty Storm trying to fight back here. Eska goes down to Jack. Jack actually getting that kill. It's a very big one to pick up. Eska with another one, though.
Yeah, and that's Taejun just trying to clean up the back line here. They're pushing forward very far into the enemy spawn point, so a couple kills there. Yoshi again, who's really been keeping his team in this match, and he's been charging that ultimate so quickly. Frequently had 2-to-1 percentages compared to Dean. And that's made a big difference, was the reason why they capped that point in the first or the second map there in Sanctum, and he stays alive for a while here.
Look at the ult percentages for both teams right now. Lunatic High in a lot better position right now than Mighty Storm.
Yeah, Felho went down awfully early. Jack will switch over to the Tracer, try and deal or harass this soldier to open up some room for the Pharah rockets.
Eska needs to drop that healing. He's getting a little bit low here. Jack trying to make a difference. Eska backing away. Soldier pretty vulnerable to dive, but oh! Tracer vulnerable to that right click, man. The rocket's doing work. Fellow, though, trying to do work with his own rockets, but he won't last too long.
And that was so close to Eska going down right there. Yeah. Jack had distracted him, and that opened up the space for Felho to get the kill onto Jaehong, but had that little backline duel gone slightly differently, Felho would have had free range to be firing into the Lunatic High composition. With the Tracer going down to that Helix rocket, couldn't buy the time.
Yep. Here we go. Yoshi coming in. He's got the Graviton Surge to use. Nice Earth Shatter from Miro. He will be taken out. Pulse Bomb comes in, though. We'll see if Lunatic High can defend. Taejun backing away now on that Tracer. Has to be kind of careful. Uses the recall. Tried to go after the Mercy. Does the Reds come in? Doesn't look like it does quite yet. SIP holding on to that one. Mighty Storm will take the point. They've got 5 ults to work with.
Yeah, they do. And got the sightlines now to help with the far rockets raining in through those choke points. Eska gonna try and sneak around and see what he can find, but lots of ults here for both teams. Very few ultimates used so far in this map. It hasn't been that scrappy trading that we saw in the first couple, and that's gonna be a nano boost attack visor.
There we go, man. Ult on the Eska getting super low, though. Has to be careful. Got that extra durability from the nano boost. It's enough to kill Chloe, but that's all he's going to get out of it. Meanwhile, I believe the res just came right back up. Yeah, SIP uses it. Jack trying to fight for his team's survival here. Remember, whoever takes this point takes the map. Fellow going for the knockoff. Doesn't work out. He's going to have to back away, though. Taejun chasing him down on that Tracer. He's got the barrage, but he's definitely not going to want to use it here. Gonna have to use it sometime soon, though, as Lunatic High does have the point back again.
It's all right. They can still push forward and try for the Graviton Barrage combo. Yoshi's been doing great so far on this Zarya.
Lunatic High should know to stay spread out here. They haven't seen that ultimate from Zarya in a while. Yoshi looking for it, trying to get in there. There's the Graviton Surge, doesn't pull too much in. Goes down to Taejun. Lunatic High looking okay, but no, I spoke too soon. Fellow with 2 kills, but Eska's still up.
Yeah, Eska's
like
still
they might
up,
be able to take it.
And they're going to try and push this forward. Jae-Hong trying to knock him out of the air. Nice rocket right around the corner, and Velho just going off on the far. He is going to flip the point here in overtime.
Flip himself too as he dies. Lunatic High not done quite yet, but it looks like Mighty Storm will finally be able to grab it.
To stay back and reset now, Lunatic High. They are going to stick with their current composition, confident they're going to be able to do work with Attack Visor. And once it comes back up, Chloe sitting on the Primal Rage. He'll be able to pretty thoroughly control that point. And this looks like it may be going down into a 99-99 territory, Noah.
Certainly could, especially with SIP still holding on to that res on Mercy. Eska has his ultimate ready to go. Visor is prepared, man. Primal Rage used a little bit early by Chloe. Once that is over, yeah, he's going to go ahead and use it. Goes after SIP, gets the kill on the Mercy, and that is huge. They don't have the res. Lunatic High needs to push now. There's the nano boost onto the Soldier 76 as he dives at the point going after Fellow. Jae-Hong gets the kill, and that may be it. Overtime coming in, and Lunatic High will take Nepal.
Crucial kill onto that Mercy. And you'll notice as we were watching Eska there, he was just holding out. His team was waiting for that Primal Rage to end so that he couldn't be knocked away while he used it. He got knocked back once, but he got the Mercy, found the target in the air so that their res would not be activated, and then cleaned up the fight from there. Great patience from Lunatic High, and they are going to take the fall 2-1.
And it's interesting to see. We're already seeing a pretty big change of pace here, man. Soldier 76 used by both teams, all 3 points. The damage is really high. And like you mentioned, you pair the nano boost with 76 now, and he is just a one-man wrecking ball.
Yeah, it's fun to see the Pharah come out again and have success even against a hit-scan player that is as skilled as Eska, because that was certainly one of the bigger questions is how would the Pharah bounce back effect? Because as you say, it sort of is a sword that cuts both ways, right?
Yeah, for sure.
First off, we were talking to Vic, and he was saying that you don't have to wait as long to fire your next rocket because the bounce back isn't there. And if they jumped and got bounced, you had to wait to see where they went to fire your next rocket. So you can actually just get more DPS out, but it also, the other side of that is it doesn't bounce the enemy, so they have more time to get a bead on you.
That's right.
And knock you out of the sky.
Well, King's Row will be the selection now for Mighty Storm. No surprise at all with how well Fellow is doing on that Pharah. I think they could definitely bring out the pharmacy combo here on this map as well. We will see. Lunatic High certainly seeming to get things together a little bit more after that first point loss. A chance to take it 2-0 and put themselves 1 win away from taking this series. Mighty Storm looks like they came ready to put up a fight, though. Let's get in the game and see who takes it.
I get it.
All right, welcome to King's Row. Mandata looks like he's about to catch that thing that's floating above his hand. I don't know what that really is.
It's some sort of atom that he's going to give the child that he is standing next to right there.
It's like, here's the nanorobots that will make you my slave. There you go. Enjoy.
That was actually Mondada's real message.
You will all be my slaves?
Destroy all humans. He's like Ben.
Oh, okay. I see. It's a pretty popular message with robots. Looking at the comms here, Toby has the Soldier 76 out.
Why does Toby have the Soldier 76 out? That is very curious.
Okay.
They are going to be, you know, envying it.
I was going to say they're enviousing it. Yeah, he's doing his best Harry Hook impression right now.
Yeah, so they do like to run Envy. Why they do this is they run a lot of healing, like off healers, like Soldier with that Biotic Field or the Roadhog from Taejun. So Ana, the idea is Ana will be able to provide enough healing while several of the heroes provide their own. And it just gives you such insane high ground control. Lunatic also reacting to the fact that they think Fello's going to play that far out. And they are right, Doa. They are right.
I think it's a smart thing to do. Toby, though, needs to be able to hit those shots, and Fellow just sitting back. Doesn't need to push in. He can just do damage from afar. And Jaehong's got to do a lot of healing here. So this poke may be able to take advantage of the fact that Lunatic High really only has one dedicated healer. Just the off healer in 76. He's got to be careful. Gets a biotic grenade. Ooh. Gets one member of Mighty Storm a little bit low. Fellow himself, actually. Jack, though, on the attack. Toby drops the biotic field.
Yeah, the Jack attack not so dangerous, though, from that kind of range.
I don't think so, yeah.
You will lose those duels. Fellow getting super aggressive, and he takes the kill, but not before Eska picks him out of the sky with the McCree.
Eska's on that McCree, and with both McCree and Soldier 76, I think Fellow's going to have a bit of a tough time making waves on that Pharah this time.
Yeah, so now they're going to push them back. Are Felho and SIP going to change? Jack is actually just going to swap to the McCree right now, wants some more long range. There's the Reaper, okay, changing his mind once again. Thinks about, maybe I should have something that can take out Taejun fairly quickly. Try and break down that tank line.
Yeah.
A little bit sneakier, see if I can get in the face of maybe that Soldier 76 and get an early kill. So they don't know that the Reaper has been picked yet. See where Jack is going to go.
Well, it's hard to assault this with so much damage coming the other way. Jack decides to go in now, but the Graviton Surge immediately dropped by Lunatic High, and there goes Dean diving in. And that's the end of that push for Mighty Storm. Or is it? The res used. That's a bold move. Eska around the outside, gets some damage. Dean has to back away. It's going to be a bit low on that Reinhardt. Drops the Earth Shatter, and that's going to help Lunatic High pick up a few more kills. And this time they'll push that, push the push back all the way.
Well, that res was actually pretty good for Mighty Storm because they killed Toby early on, so they found themselves in a 6v5. But Eska, again, we saw his heroics against Conbox T6, and he takes out Yoshi, who's still had his ultimate available, so it gets the critical pick to even out the fight. No Graviton Surge able to be used, and they are just pushed back.
Here we go. Fellow now on the Genji, decides to swap things up, going in, trying to dive. Oh, but Taejun with the hook. Jack goes down as well, and it looks like Lunatic High gonna hold. Eska pops that Deadeye and drops two.
That's right, the Electric Cowboy taking the field again, committing the Nano Boost and the Deadeye. Huge zone so that they can't follow up onto the Graviton Surge and even grab 2 kills out of it. So Lunatic High holding confidently right now.
You know, one of the ways you handle something like a Soldier 76 is to play like the Winston, the Genji, something that dives. Because Soldier 76 is good from range, but somebody jumps on him, he has trouble sometimes unless you can land that right click. So I think it's a good change, but they need to make it work. Yeah, there they go. Sending into Winston is exactly what you think you would need to do against this composition. They use the sound barrier to try to stay alive, and Lunatic High pushed off the point a little bit. They'll be coming back in again. Gonna use the attack visor. Does a little bit of damage. Not enough, though. Yoshi and Chloe picking up kills. And we'll see if they can muscle their way back out of the point now. Dean going in. There's a Graviton Surge. Eska, oh, he gets 2. Jaehong with a couple as well. And that is exactly what Lunatic High was looking for.
So Lunatic High adapted nicely. They saw the Reaper and the Winston and the swap over to the Genji. And instead of playing the high ground, you'll notice that they all backed off to the backside of the point. Because as long as they get those long sight lines, they can win those fights. They can punish them from trying to come in. And that's exactly what we're seeing. This Dragon Blade has to be absolutely huge.
Yes, it does. He will not get to, I don't think he got to use it, though. No, he's still alive. Fellow coming in. He's got the Dragon Blade. Gets hit with the flashbang, though. Eska backing away. Mighty Storm loses 3. And they needed to keep a few more people up to take this point. Looks like it's going to be a full hold for Lunatic High.
I have to say, Doa, I would not have used the nano boost onto the Roadhog right there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the best choice. I think you need to go ahead and nano boost the Genji because you have to work your way through the Roadhog in order to be successful. And we saw the damage that was able to be done by the McCree off the flashbang. It forced him to turn around and abandon fighting Eska in that backline, and that just led him to get hit by a hammer a couple of times in the front line. So
Yeah.
he had to commit harder to the nano boost, but Felho's not going to get it. So full hold, and it will just be a quick take here if Lunatic High can manage it. Just take that point A, and they will go ahead and win King's Row. Wouldn't be surprising to see Taejun on the Hanzo.
Yep, that's right. He's run it before, and it's certainly a good hero choice for pushing point A on this map, but there's a lot of other options too. We'll see what he goes with. Eska back on the 76 now.
I'd love to see Miro play with the new Diva. That would be
Me too, actually. This wouldn't be a bad point to try it on either.
absolutely.
Diva, you know, speaking of diving, Diva right now, she's got that increased health. She can walk faster while she's firing. She's really good at chasing down the supports, chasing down snipers. And I think in the future we're going to see her used quite a bit. And actually Miro on the Diva right now. We'll see if he sticks on it. But I think this is a hero that we could see a lot of coming up in this as this patch kind of gets developed a bit more.
Suits Miro's style too as a player who likes to play aggressively in the back lines, who does have a great amount of synergy with his Zarya and his Ana players to provide him even more survivability from range.
Yeah. Still have to watch out a little bit for things like Reaper. Come on, stick with it. We'll see if he does. He'll be back
Going
now.
to.
Lucio.
Taejun going to fire that Sonic arrow, see what they're up against, and he's going to get some good information.
Yeah, and Miro will stay on the Diva. Now, of course, that defensive matrix really nice, too, for charging in. And you can see Miro already getting on that high ground on the back line, trying to build up his ultimate. It's so hard to dislodge Divas, too, once they do that as well.
Nice flying from Fellow.
Yeah, Fellow gets a couple on the McCree. That's going to be a push stopped cold by Mighty Storm.
Really clutch right there to be able to find that Hanzo. Forcing Diva back right now. Everybody at this tiny little choke point, but defensive matrix is going to do some work.
Oh, doesn't do enough. We'll see Miro going deep now. He's got the heals, and now he's getting onto the soft backline. Got to watch out a little bit for that May, but they're going to get the kills anyway. Eska grabs a couple on the 76. And Miro, yeah, that's what you can do, man. You can chase down those vulnerable targets.
That was so brutal from Miro.
You know,
they all lined up and just got hit by his boost forward while he was using the defensive matrix, and then corralled for the Soldier 76 from Eska. And now they're just going to win the map. Wow. Miro, man.
Well, I mean, he played that perfectly. I mean, in that narrow corridor, yeah, you just charge forward on the Diva, and then you just do little circles. You just mix everybody up and bounce them around, and that just lets Eska just wreck them with 76. I love it.
They thought,
good to see.
They thought that, Mighty Storm thought that because they had gotten those 2 picks, that they were going to be able to walk up that staircase and clean up the rest of Lunatic High. But
seemed that way.
Lunatic High just baiting them in there, falling back to the top of the staircase, getting him in that passage, and then just wrecking them with an awesome Diva play from Miro.
While you're charging, you can also have that defensive matrix up too, so you're absorbing all the enemy fire coming in. So it's just it becomes a shooting gallery. Got to watch out for that. Yep. I think we're going to see a lot of Diva going forward.
Definitely baited there. A tad. Lunatic High.
That's right. So, going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll see if Mighty Storm can make any headway. It may be coming back in this match, but Lunatic High looking like they're poised to take a pretty easy 3-0. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Map 3 on Overwatch Apex right after this.
솜브라가 누구냐고? 기록상 그녀는 없어. 존재하지 않아. 아무도 이 아이를 기억 못해. 그 전쟁 후엔 이런 애가 수두룩했거든. 하지만 이렇게 해킹을 잘한 나이는 없었지. 그리고 이 아이는 사람을 조종하는 것도 별일 아니라는 걸 알았어. 세상이 어떻게 돌아가는지 알고 나니 정보가 곧 힘이었지. 그래서 계속 해킹을 했어. 정치인하며 회사하며 정부하며 꼭 중독이라도 된 듯이. 그러다가 처음으로 누군가에게 발각됐어. 하드웨어를 못 쓰게 되면 업그레이드를 해야 하지. 아이는 사라지고 솜브라가 태어났어. 이제 난 준비됐어. 세상을 조종하는 게 누군지 알아낼 거야. 그들의 약점을 찾아 이용하겠어. 그때는 모두가 내 뜻대로 움직이겠지. 솜브라가 누구냐고? 너흰 영영 모를 거야. 아디오스.
노력은 선수를 만들고 코어 i7 프로세서는 멈추지 않는 파워를 드립니다.
And welcome back to the Intel Overwatch Apex. I'm Doa, with me is Monte Cristo, and with Mighty Storm, hopefully is a little bit more luck as they are down 0-2 to Lunatic High right now. And we're all using Soldier now.
We definitely
the patch
are.
is here, guys. The patch is definitely here.
Yeah, it's been fun to see. Obviously, a lot more to be figured out on a wildly new meta that most of these teams have not been practicing on. Most of them were going to be preparing, of course, on the live patch, not on the public test environment, PTE. So they will be a little bit confused. Question is, are we going to see any Sombra today, in addition to the horde of soldiers that have debuted so far?
Yeah. Well, you know, playing Soldier again, as we see Temple of Anubis is our third map of the day. Playing Soldier again, playing Diva again, for these guys, it feels like putting on a nice, comfortable old t-shirt that somehow, like, fell back behind, like, some other clothes you didn't know was back there for a while, and then you're going through your closet and you rediscover it, and you're like, I love this t-shirt. And you put it on, it's so comfortable. That's what having Diva and Soldier back feels like, to me at least. I'm sure it feels that way to Miro and Eska and all those guys as well.
I don't wear t-shirts, so I don't know that feeling.
You'll never know the joy then. I'm sorry, your life just is not as complete as mine then.
See, my equivalent is that velvet smoking jacket that fell behind the couch. And I find it and I slip it on.
Nice glass of
my
scotch.
velour robe.
All right, that makes sense. I'm not surprised. Let's go to Temple of Anubis. See who wins it. For you, it's like that musty old elk head mounted to the wall that you haven't looked at in a while. You're like, I remember when I slayed that elk with my bare hands.
That's right. That's
or no, with my grandfather's musket from the Civil War or something.
Yes, that's more accurate.
Yeah,
that's
there you
accurate.
go. I remember now. Oh, well, there's Sobra.
My ancestors' blunderbuss.
That's right. That's right. My ancestor from 1,000 years ago, bronze spear.
T-shirts for plebs, man. What can I say?
T-shirts for comfort and happiness. Well, I don't know if we're going to see any Sombra. Probably not from Chloe. If we do, he's generally more of a tank player, but you never know.
Pretty standard defense here from Lunatic High. Going with their trademark triple tank and Eska on the hit scan. They're not showing us too much that we wouldn't expect from them right now. Chloe gonna be flipping off of that into the typical Winston. Chloe actually one of the rare primary tank players that plays more Winston than Reinhardt. Like, plays Winston about 2/3 of the time.
Yeah, and he's a pretty decent one too, but as a team, they're going to need to get a little bit more done here. This fellow comes in with the Pharah.
They'll be expecting this, but they have the Soldier, and they have the Roadhog, and they have Miro, who is wonderful and dealing with the high ground here on Anubis. We've seen how well he controls that top of that front choke point time and time again from Lunatic High. And
Jack on the Genji as well. Miro jumps down, just goes for a little bit of a left click and a melee attack.
He's so bold on this Winston. I love watching him play.
Look, as soon as his jump cooldown is over, he goes in there, a little bit of damage, just building up that ultimate, backing away now. Drops the shield, has to be a little bit careful here.
He's Miro, he doesn't.
Oh, he does. That's why he succeeds, though.
SIP actually going to be going down there at the end. Taejun finding a hook, and now Fellow looking to work his way slowly around. Gets on top of Taejun.
Wow, that sleep dart.
Is a nice sleep dart.
Man, Jaehong is so good with the sleep darts on that Ana, and Miro, meanwhile, just wrecking people alongside Eska here. Goodbye, Jack. Goodbye, SIP. This is not where you want to be.
Oh.
No mercy.
Yeah, definitely no mercy now. Deleted by Miro. And pulling out the blaster, that's going to be a pretty terrible split spawn for Mighty Storm. SIP does get the res now. But wow, that was overbold there, but Mercy didn't have anybody to jump to.
You know, when you compare Soldier 76 to McCree in terms of what he does, let's hold that thought. Mighty Storm going hard here. They're going to try to take it. They do a little bit of damage to Eska, but no. The kill comes in. Jaehong actually taking out Fellow. That's the thing. It's Jaehong, such an offensive threat on that Ana as well. And Lunatic High repelling this push with no issues. But going back to what I was mentioning earlier, Eska on that Soldier 76 rather than the McCree, I think it does really come down to the usefulness of the nano boost with that ultimate. Because, you know, McCree, yeah, you've got the Deadeye, but Soldier, you can just chase people around and grind them down in a way that McCree can't do quite as well. So
yeah, you can't chase people around during Deadeye anymore. You don't get the speed boost. So having the sprint makes a huge difference in terms of repositioning. And in a MOBA, which is partially what this is. Kind of what this is.
SIP getting very, very low. Has to try to get away from Miro here. Graviton Surge used by Lunatic High. They do get the kill with the Reaper, but Fellow goes down the back lines. Meanwhile, Taejun gonna go ahead and use the whole hog.
Yeah, and Fellow wasn't actually res by the Mercy right there, Doan. We saw SIP, but Fellow died immediately after the res, so not the best timing on that ultimate, and that's gonna mean Lunatic High continues to hold.
Yeah, good biotic grenade by Jaehong there to keep everybody alive in the Graviton Surge. And Eska, man, he's just putting on a clinic with the Soldier 76 right now. Miro putting on a clinic with Winston. I feel like we should be paying tuition fees to watch this match, man.
It is. I love watching Miro play Winston from the first person. It's so fun to see how he pushes this hero's limits, and that's what he's been doing again, just being king of the archway. Wow. Dodging away, just zoning Fellow and SIP out time and time again.
And he knows
Taejun actually going to go down. Nice rocket there from Fellow.
SIP in trouble again as Miro comes in looking for that kill. Onto the Mercy, he's going to find it. Meanwhile, Eska grabs too. He popped that attack visor, and he is just tearing apart Mighty Storm. I love just sitting on board with Miro, though, as we watch him just chase everybody down. You just can't get away from this Winston.
Playing support against Miro must be the least fun thing in existence, Noah.
You know, the thing is, with the strength of Winston, with the strength of D.Va right now, I think it's going to be hard for supports for a while on this patch, man. It's a dangerous time to be a support. Look at this, he just sits up here because he knows with Jaehong healing him from behind, he can take these rockets from Fellow. It's no big deal at all. And the disruption this guy causes is awesome. There's the Graviton Surge. Might as well use Primal Rage. Yeah, why not, man? Meanwhile, Eska just destroying people again, doesn't even need the attack visor. And that should be about it. Actually, Mighty Storm does get somebody on the point. We're gonna have to go back and clear that off. Looks like Taejun over on the Tracer now. Use that Pulse Bomb, didn't get a lot out of it. They're gonna eventually grind down Chloe, it looks like. Eventually. There we go. By Reinhardt. And that should do it.
Yep, overtime going to tick down.
Yep.
They're going to try and desperately get on the point, but they can't get there fast enough. And wow, Lunatic High. So when they play against the Pharah and Mercy, Pharah needs to have that jump jet to get over and get sightlines onto the whole map. And yeah, you can get great sightlines with Pharah, but with Winston on the top right there, Miro was limiting how close Felho and SIP could actually get and how long they could stay in the air, because otherwise they were just getting raked with the Tesla cannon over and over again.
Yeah.
And Miro, he creates so much space. He pushes the enemy so far back with the way he plays the Winston, and that was gorgeous.
And now we swap over to Lunatic High with their attack round, and all they need to do is take point A, and they will take this first match 3-0. You know, it was looking like maybe we'd have a bit of a closer affair after Village on Nepal. Mighty Storm put on a great show on that particular point, but since then it's been all Mighty Storm, all Lunatic High rather.
Yeah, I think they did get surprised by the Pharah a little bit.
I think
and
so.
Fellows' individual play on that hero has been good. They seem like they're going to switch it up this time, at least at first glance, if Jack does go for the Roadhog and Fellow onto the McCree.
Well, I would love to see Eska play Sombra, and if anyone's going to play it on Lunatic High, it probably would be him. I mean, Taejun plays hit scan DPS as well, but Eska seems more like the sneaky backline pick to me anyway. But it's probably going to swap off of it, sadly.
We'll have to wait and see. I mean, Taejun does play a lot of Tracer, so definitely a possibility that he could be on the Sombra instead. But I think we're going to see Sombra more as part of triple DPS compositions with a single tank than anything else, if we see her, because she is mostly a utility-based hero.
Oh, well, we'll see if Eska actually goes with it. Maybe.
The crowd is definitely getting excited.
Don't troll us, man. Don't troll us. Oh, come on. You can't take this shot now. He is. He's going with it. Okay. So Eska bringing out the Sombra. That gun does a ton of damage, trying to stealth his way in there, avoiding the damage that would reveal him, and this is exactly what you need to do on this map, man. Go to the high ground, sneak in there, try to take out one of the supports on the bridge maybe. Meanwhile, Taejun on the Widowmaker, distracting them with those shots. This is helping Eska get in there even easier. Yoshi, though, gets a kill. Oh, and SIP finds him. Oops. Well, he tried.
Yeah,
Boop.
So Jae-Hong is actually playing Diva this time, mixing up that role, and Dean is back onto the Ana. We saw them do this a little bit in their first map against Combox T6, but yes, it is getting a little bit trolly. They're going to keep going with it, though, Noah. They are resilient, and Taejun going to stick on a Widowmaker, not a hero Taejun is really known for.
You know, I mean, the thing with that Sombra is that you cannot see her until she gets close to you. It's not like in StarCraft 2 with this little shimmer or something. Going in, looking for somebody to hack. If you can hack the Reinhardt shield, that's the nicest thing to grab initially, but he's hard to get to. Sometimes you just got to kill sports. Oh, no! And SIP lands a sleep tart. Oh, well, all right, he's awake again, and that does do a lot of damage. Got to be careful. No, it's not enough, and this is not going too well for Eska yet.
Just because 2 times sleep darted.
We may be going to map 4. We'll see. Oh, yeah, there goes Taejun. And Jae-Hong, yeah, why not give him the nano boost, man? I mean, can work out.
Oh, he actually nearly killed.
Still alive for now.
Nearly killed Roadhog right there. It looks like he's going to
knock an ult.
Yeah, he's going to save the ult for the next push, try and clear out the point that way.
It's disappointing, but okay.
Oh, actually, no, they
going to get
revived
rezzed by Toby, yeah.
But still no ult. Okay, well, got to say the Mercy with the Widowmaker.
He's still trying.
Yeah, this is not a very efficient composition. I'm not really sure who the Mercy is supposed to be healing here.
Well, you just pocket boost the Widowmaker in this case, I guess.
I guess.
I think that'd be the best way to go. Miro dropping down, as we can see there. Toby on the top, firing away with that hand cannon.
They have a nice crossfire with Ana and Widowmaker going on right now, so they have a good setup to actually take this point finally.
Well, this is the thing, is that I feel like with Sombra, you can almost just walk up and destroy people with that gun. It does so much damage, man.
Mana boost to the Winston. Eska still here, firing away. He's going to pick up one. Sound barrier goes down, though.
There's the EMP, gets rid of that sound barrier immediately. Eska backing off. Nice play there. That's exactly what you want to save that EMP for. Time to hack. No sleep darts this time, man. Oh, but he just kills you instead. Okay, well, you know, it was a nice try. You got the right idea anyway.
Are they actually going to go to another map right now, or are they going to switch this? Okay, Eska and Taejun now switching to Tracer and Reaper.
They can still win.
Enough is enough.
They can still win in the draw point on Nepal, so.
They get the Reaper. They want it to deal with the triple tank. They have a minute left. They took that composition pretty darn far, Noah.
Yeah. I mean, they tried. They tried. I like that they tried too. Makes me happy inside.
Certainly crowd favorites. Jayhawk gets 2 immediately.
Yeah, Earthshatter though hits Eska. Oh, he actually nearly lives there, but Jayhong can't quite keep him up. Meanwhile, Jayhong actually, no, he's not on the Anadenas this time. Jayhong on the Diva, doing what he can here from the high ground. Taejun over on the Reaper now, and that's going to be good with that Primal Raging Winston coming in. And yeah, Fellow drops, and it looks like they may just claim point A, as they apparently could have all along with a bit more serious of a composition.
They're going to try and use the Diva ultimate one last time to clear it out. Yoshi gets desuited. Nano boost onto Miro's Winston. Taejun chasing around the errant Lucio, and that's going to be it.
All right, they take the point, and with it, Lunatic High goes ahead and takes 3-0 in their group and a 3-0 in this match.
Well, that was funny to watch for a little bit, though. I don't think we're going to see a lot of Mercy, Sombra, Widowmaker combinations in the future, but
see, the mistake
was entertaining.
They should have kept the Mercy with the Widowmaker, you know? I mean, if you have Taejun playing Widowmaker who's not that good, that means that Widowmaker needs to do more damage, man. You gotta keep the Mercy with her.
Okay.
I fixed it. I'm going to go let them know in the
right.
commercial break. It'll be much better next time. Don't worry.
I'm glad. I do think Sombra has a place in specific competitions.
Sure.
I don't think that's going to be one of them.
Maybe not. Either way, fun match to watch. Lunatic High doing very, very well in their group. Obviously getting the 3-0, and of course they got the win over Envious a little bit earlier in the group stage too, so certainly a team to watch for in the playoffs moving forward.
Well, one thing about Mighty Storm, though, is that even though they didn't win a map, they actually did make it surprisingly competitive at times tonight, and you could really see Felho in particular with some outstanding individual play. Same thing with Chloe, actually, on that Winston, doing work, especially on Nepal. So it's certainly a team that looks like they have improved and also got stuck in the worst group possible, basically.
A tough group for them. We'll see if they can make it through the promotion matches a little bit later and stay in the tournament. Might be a little bit tough, but again, hard to judge really, because they were in such a hard group. You know, maybe if they were in like Group D or something, they would have had a little bit better of a chance. Lunatic High, though, definitely a team to be afraid of if you're possibly going to face them in the playoffs.
Yeah, still a little bit unclear if they can run a diverse number of compositions that aren't triple tank, because Taejun, he's really hit or miss when he's not on that Roadhog.
And we'll see. Let's see what happens here. When we come back, guys, our second match of the day will be coming in. And it will be a pretty important one for Group D. Going to be Runaway taking on Kongdu Panthera. Do not go anywhere, guys, because we'll be back in just a little bit on Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1. I promise. Greencasters just want to talk about Sombra a lot, I guess.
The crowd was hyped up to see Sombra. So was I.
I was hyped up to play Sombra today.
Competitive debut in Overwatch.
She's really fun. Really fun to play, so hopefully we'll get to see what top-tier pro Sombra play looks like in the near future. But until then, it's break time. We'll be right back.
up next.